Welcome back, everybody. Derrick Soo, your East Oakland advocate. Well, fraud doesn't take a holiday. Here it is. We're just a couple of days away from Labor Day weekend. And my phone and my messenger, my Facebook, texting have all been blowing up this week with all sorts of fraud stuff. But I have a lot of uh, hurdles in the way, so to speak, on my phone. The fraudsters, the illegal uh, people trying to steal your money over the phone, they can't get through because number one, I put an international block on any calls coming from overseas because I don't know anybody from overseas, and so I don't expect or need to hear from anybody overseas. So there are no international calls that come in on my cell phone. Number two, I have uh, I have a call screen on my phone, and so I put a very basic generic message on the voicemail. It's not even my voice, and it doesn't mention my name. It mentions the caller at this number, and it mentions the number is not available. Please leave a message, and that's it. And so they can't verify. And the answer that usually the fraudsters are looking at, if it's a bill collector, they're looking for any point where you say yes. So that's why I don't have any problem with credit or anything. But for those of you that do have credit, this is another reason why you want to have a call block and a call screening system on your phone. And then those type of calls don't get through. But it does show you who called. Uh, but you can't count on what is on your screen as being real. So there, fraud comes in many different uh, ways and examples of contacts by phone, and how limited I make it, and how very difficult that I make it for people to contact me via phone. But then that leaves the next option, which is text. And here's one time that text really came back to bite me in the ass. And it was a hacker that couldn't access my Facebook account for whatever reason, but then came texted me as somebody that I had worked with in the past, about a year in the past. But I knew where he lived. I knew the city, and I know where he originates. And so the message that came in on the text said, I lost a hacker got hold of my Facebook account. That's why I've been out of contact with you for so long. And they got my cell phone, they got my emails and all that. And so this person said that, and you were the only person that I still had your business card. So that was a big tip for me. So it is obviously a hacker that knew me and my MO at the time, which everybody that I met and that I spoke to, I handed them one of my business cards. And so that was one of the trademarks keys, that this was somebody that actually knew me somehow. And so because the text from this person was one of those persons that I would have given that card to, I believe to be factual, and in fact it was fictitious. But what he asked me to do is that I'm going to have a Facebook code sent to your email, and could you give me that code? And so when that did happen, I gave the code to the person that I thought was real, and next thing you know, on my Facebook, started going nuts. It sent out a red flag, a warning to me. Did you make an attempt to uh, um, change your login? And I looked hit that right away and looked at it. It's like, no, that wasn't me. And I said, oh shit, that was a hacker that got me. And so that was, at that time, I knew that the person that I had worked with, they had been hacked. And in fact, it was the hacker. He was telling the truth that the account was hacked because it was hacked by him. And so it was a nightmare getting my Facebook account back. It took me 2 weeks. I was offline for 2 weeks. This was between 2021 and 2022 that happened. And it wasn't a real busy time, fortunately. So, but I did get it back. It was quite an ordeal on the verification. I had to actually send a copy of my driver's license, or not my driver's license, but my California ID to Facebook to verify who I am and verify my address, everything. And then that's how I regained control, because I notified Facebook right away, and they put a halt on the account. And so even the hacker couldn't use the account at that point. So nothing, even if they started downloading stuff, it was within 3 minutes of that I first got the message that my account was shut down. So word to you, if you get a message directly from Facebook like that, saying, and you'll know it's official, asking if you've logged in somewhere else, and then you look at where it logged in, and it's not your normal login, and it wasn't the login of the student, the person that I was working with. It wasn't him, and it was a completely different area, not in the area that I am or that he was. And so and I reported that immediately, verified with Facebook that something was wrong, that that account had been hacked. And so that's why they shut it down. So that's another way that they could do it. And not only that, but then they could steal your data and your information that Facebook has on you, and wreak all kinds of havoc on your friends, because that also will give them access to cloud. So if you have a cloud account of any form, and your iPhone or your Android phone is backed up to the cloud, they have access to everything in your life, all your credit cards, your banking accounts, everything. It becomes a holy helly nightmare. So be careful with that one. The other one is being contacted on Facebook Messenger, and I get this a lot, and I don't answer them. Realistically, I don't answer them, especially when they start out. The little thumbnail picture of the person is of flowers or a really attractive female or whatever. That's the shiny bait to get you to bite. I don't bite. And I'm not looking for a significant other. A lot of people say, well, you can still get married again, get another wife, have some kids. No, I can't have kids either, because I had chemo treatment and I had surgery and radiation treatment that sterilized me. So that's not possible. And at this age, I wouldn't want to have kids. I don't want any stress and turmoil in my life. And that's what having a spouse and kids bring to your life. I'm too old for that. I already did it with my second wife. Went through holy hell with the first one, and so not looking good for you females or your males. I'm not going anyway. And a lot of times I tell people, if I'm lonely, hey, I'll go get a dog. I got a 110-pound American bulldog, so I'm not lonely. But back to Messenger, and you'll know that they're setting you up for a scam, because the ones which are females trying to attract me and keep me on the hook, and they're playing me. They're saying, well, age is just a number, and typically their ages are in their mid-20s to mid-30s, in that range. That's what hits me up on Messenger and the online. I don't do any online dating, but this is just from posts that I get. Some of you may have even seen some of those posts because I try and delete those as quick as they pop up because I don't want them. I'm not interested in, and those are hackers, that are casting lines to see what they can hook. So I don't do that. Um, but Messenger is probably one of the most prevalent ones for fraud. Uh, and the best thing you can do is just not answer them. Or once they show up, click on their thumbnail, go to their page, and then block them. And that's what I do. I block a lot of them. And then there are recently the ones, the fraudsters that are trying to use my name for their advertising by posting all of their ads, and their Instagram accounts, which is a Facebook, alphabet holding, and yeah, they're using you for free advertising, and they did that with my East Oakland Advocate, and I blocked every one of them, pissed them off, and I blocked it in a way where even all of their other aliases, because this one Instagram account kept coming up, and he had like 50 aliases, and I think because I kept doing that, and then I started popping in, plus all other aliases, known and unknown, meaning that unknown meaning he hasn't created them yet, but as long as it comes through his name, his account, he's going to be blocked. So those are some safety tips for you on that. And the ones that ask you to add them, if you have a posting on Facebook or any online, and you get somebody asking you to add them as a friend, they're having you actually bypass all the safeties um, for to add a fake account onto your account. Once that fake account is in your Facebook and friended you, they can search all your data and see everything that you got, and collect a lot of stuff on you, and then also try and steal from you. And then it's a good way, one of the footprints for stealing your identification. So be aware of that. So don't pass along codes. Make sure you don't friend people that ask you because they somehow can't friend you for whatever reason, which is a bunch of crap. If they're international, yeah, I believe it. I don't want any international friends. Don't need them. I have enough problems with the ones stateside. And then let's see what else I have here. Well, that looks like I covered pretty much everything that I wanted to cover, because these are all experiences that I've just recently, since I came back out to the street and then now back indoors, I've been noticing every holiday fraudsters jump up because, number one, you're more likely to answer or reply. So don't answer, don't reply. Do put the safeguards and safeties in place like I did, and you're pretty much worry free. This morning I've already had 3 calls come in stateside from somebody. I don't care who it is or what they're trying to do. They're not going to pull a fraud on me because I don't have any reason to talk to you if you're not already in my contacts list. Thanks for joining me today. Stay safe, everybody, and happy Labor Day weekend.